Hi there, Alex Goldschmidt, one of the other faces behind the voice that you normally hear on commentary here on Alpha Live. So it's time for my top five now, and quite a bit of a different mixture in comparison with Mr. Jordan, who I'm now following in suit, I would imagine. I'm a commentator that is also not just based here in the UK, but I also work in Europe, predominantly with Rotax for the Euro Trophy, B&L Karting Series, and I was due to do Rotax Germany before, obviously, everything that's happened. So, yeah, let's have a look at my top five, starting off with number 5 itself. So with any countdown, you have to start somewhere. So let's head to number 5 of my top 5. 2018, Paul Fletcher International at the home of British karting. It was the British Pro Kart Endurance Championship 12 hour. I think it was round 2 of the series. Ange Hutchinson, I'm sure you'll probably correct me if I'm wrong there. But it was a very, very great weekend. Very long one, I must admit. Got to the circuit, I think, in the afternoon after finishing work somewhere, whether I was working at my day job or was commentating that weekend, I can't really remember. So I drove up to PFI, did the voiceover for the qualifying report that we were going to broadcast in the post before we went live with the grid walk. But I had made a promise that will forever be on YouTube. A very, very dodgy shirt. And I had to wear it. So here's around 10 minutes of a bit of banter between me and Tom Butterworth, and also my Eddie Jordan tribute on the gantry over the start-finish line at PF International. Yeah, that shirt's not going to be worn anytime soon.
It's like I've been commentating for the last 11 hours with a deck chair now. This is all in my mind.
The funny thing is, at least I'm putting everyone out of their misery now.
Yeah, well, you're going to do that on the podium as well, though, aren't you? That T-shirt's being worn for the podium. Oh, we have light in the commentary box. Wonders will never cease.
Right. I'm going out to face the music. Wish me luck.
So we're going to get him on camera in a second, just so you can put a face to the voice. Just have to change mics briefly so that we can get the other one outside, so Alex can do some commentary from outside on the gantry. You will be seeing that. It certainly is impressive setup that Alpha have brought to the track. As you can see, so we've got PGS having a big look up the inside of Team Keen there. As darkness falls across the circuit, you can see the floodlights really having an effect now, certainly down the back straight. The light level has completely changed in the last few minutes. We've got MSJSI there who have pulled away by 5 seconds now from Team Keen. And PGS still hounding them. This is the PGS are the second kart on the road in second position, so they are in second position. We have Team Keen who are currently in 5th place on the road as it stands, but they are all on the same lap. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place are all on the same lap. Very important to stress that. Anything could happen in this last 53 minutes, and everybody just wants to keep their nose clean and hope for the best. MSJSR are certainly pushing on. Oh, in fact, and PGS have got past Team Keen now. We missed that on camera, but they have got through and put them back to being a lap down. So now we've got 2nd, 3rd and 4th on the road are all on the same lap. With MS Soco Select still 5 laps clear. It's been one of those things where for the first hour it was all up in the air. A great battle. The front 3 with MS Soco Select, Red Racing and Q Racing were just chopping and changing for the lead. It was a fantastic battle. But now, as time has gone on, we have got them 5 laps clear. So what I'm going to do now is hand over to Alex who is out in his horrific shirt on the gantry.
There we go. Right. So if everyone can hear me on the live stream, this is my Eddie Jordan shirt. So I've been told by James to stand back here. So you can see all the carts coming down the main straightaway here at PF International. And we're now under the floodlights. So this is going to add that added extra dimension for the next 50 or so minutes. Just seen the number 42 of MS Lucas come under, but I made a promise to both James and Luke that I've got the most terrific Eddie Jordan style shirt, and I tell you what, thank God I have not imprinted this on your minds throughout the last 12 hours, but for the last hour at least, I thought, why not have a commentator that can have a laugh at himself, and I'm definitely one of those people. So it's really going to make interesting, you know, it looks like Tom has come out of the commentary box, is still munching on his pizza. Let's pan, if we can, to try and pan around to him. There you go, there's the other man behind the other voice, stuffing his face. We've got Ange from BPEC in front of him. So you know what, the joke's on you, Butters. There we go, they finally realised they're on candid camera. Courtesy of our good friends from Alpha Live. Don't forget, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification. Yeah, James, don't take off the t-shirt. You might scare a few people. But don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell behind, because what you'll get is every time that Alpha Live broadcasts a live stream event like we're doing here at PF International, that's your chance to enjoy live stream motorsport action at its very best. With us here at PF International, we've had such great compliments from the entire BPEC paddock and also from Paul Fletcher himself. It's really been a pleasure commentating at one of the greatest circuits here, and the only one with a bridge. If you take a look over there as they go under turn number 1, down onto the Litchfield Bridge, this really gives you an insight as to the track itself. And I think we are close to hitting 600 plus laps here with MS SoCo in the number 43 leading the way currently. So we're soon to get this race concluded. And I tell you what, it's been absolutely fantastic being here in Grantham in Lincolnshire at PF International. But I tell you what, that's enough for the shirt for now. Let's go back into the commentary box.
So for number 4 on the list, it is a unanimous decision between myself and Anthony Jordan on this one, so it's both made our respective top 5s. For the 2019 Rye House London Cup, powered by Screed Force Limited, the Senior Rotax Final, the last race of the weekend after everyone had been qualifying on the Saturday. I'd been there from the Saturday. Anthony had been at the, I think it was the Spirit of the F100's final at Buckmore Park, which I was asked to attend but couldn't because I was already booked with Rye. We'd had difficult conditions all the way through Sunday after a great day's worth of qualifying, you know, fantastic weather all the way through Saturday pretty much. And then to cope with the remaining layers of wetness that was on the track, had to be the Senior Rotax Final. More twists and turns than the Never-Ending Story or a James Bond film. So this is number 4 on my pick.
Well, I'm just waiting for my colleague Anthony Jordan to come back up into the commentary box. But we have our closing race for the 2019 Rye House London Cup, brought to you in association with Screed Force Limited and Back in the Saddle. Anthony.
What have I missed?
Nothing, because they've just gone out onto the grid.
Excellent, good.
So, the race 27 of the meeting, this is the final hurrah for 2019. So on the grid is as follows. Liam Ferguson in the 65 and Mike Spencer in the 48 alongside Alfie Haralambus and Aaron Drury, that's row 2. Sean Berry and George Sanders, row 3. Philip Rawson, George Whitbread, row 4. And completing the top 10, it's Riley Stevenson and Simon Keeble. Thomas Storart and Hayden Cater, that's row 6. Tom Thompson, Will Keith, row 7. Sam Gambrell and Tom Sullivan, row 8. Kieran McCarney and Miles Nathaniel James, that's row 9. Lawrence Sverdloff and Jack Richards ran out the top 20 with Joe Havisham, Harvey Hollick, Tom Richards, Pete Newman and Chris Calava, rounding out the 25 set to go into battle. Over 10 minutes plus an additional lap. Apologies for those that might be at the circuit. We've had to go to the live stream microphone. There's been a bit of a problem with the mic. It's been sort of phasing in and out of signal because it's normally over the other side of the circuit. However, we are here for the duration. So 2x2 rolling start formation to get the Senior Rotax London Cup final race of the weekend underway, but we're going to get another formation lap, I fear.
I believe so, and there's a crash in the background on the start as well. 2 go off into the barriers, and I can't see who it was, but I think that was just drivers thinking it was a go time. There's a 68 there.
68, that is Miles Nathaniel James and Kieran McCarney. 53 also involved, so that could put us down to 23 drivers, and that is a hefty hit. That should be a red flag.
I think the red flag has come out, yeah.
Okay, red flag has been called.
So it looks like both drivers are up and are okay, which is excellent to see. But as you can imagine, probably incredibly frustrated and disappointed at that. And they've kicked a lot of debris up onto the circuit as well.
Yeah, a lot of grass cutting. If it was on Jonathan Palmer's circuits, they would be getting a bill in the post.
Oh, yes.
But it's not easy with these kind of races where they're doing a 2x2 rolling start formation and everyone has been stopped on the Complex Nouvelle, just heading into the S's. So let's have a look at the start again. Okay, everyone knows it's another formation lap. You can see the 57 there. That's Sean Berry waving the finger around saying, okay, one more lap. And this is where it starts kicking off. I just need to, you can just see, and also going sideways is the 31. That's Jack Richards.
Sorry.
So Lawrence Sverdloff would have been on that row. That's the bottom part of the top 20.
I also saw the 13 as well getting out of shape completely sideways.
Lawrence Sverdloff on the number 13, funnily enough, yeah, starting on P19. So that's going to bring us with a little bit of a delay. A real shame for 2 competitors that won't have a chance to compete for the London Cup title in 2019. A bit of a dramatic way to start the race because they all knew it was a full start. I'm not too sure if someone got caught unawares or the back end just stepped out. It can happen.
Well, it all depends. Are these guys running slicks?
That's exactly the thing I was thinking.
I think if they're on slicks and there was a damp patch on the edge of the circuit, because they're so bunched up and side by side, one was forced into a puddle, hit the power, lit up the rear tyres, and then absolutely sent it off on the side.
Right, let's have a look.
They are, yeah, slicks. Yeah.
So some were chancing it. Some were chancing it. They thought, you know what, with the Rotax 177s and the Bambinos, the way that they had been moving forward, and in terms of the cumulative lap times that were being aggregated over the course of the proceedings, 2 races, 20 minutes of track evolution, I thought, dry lines are showing. I might chance it. And 2 of them have found out the hard way it was the wrong call, possibly.
Yep, and of course, round the corners, the track has completely dried out. As we look at this shot here, this is just at the exit of Pylon before Paddock Bend at the pit lane entrance. That track there is completely dry, barring puddles at the edge of the circuit. But the start-finish straight itself, there's a lot of, it's still damp across the main body of it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see that they're trailing row one of the carts there, which looks to be Miles Nathaniel James's cart. You can still see there's a lot of standing water. Well, it's sort of like ideas of, you can just see, I mean, if we can just get an angle onto the start-finish straight where the marshalling team are now sweeping up the grass debris that's been spat out onto the circuit, you can still see that there is still some damp residue of the standing water puddles that we found on the start-finish straight. So it's probably when they, and then also you've got the painted lines. Those are still going to be slick as anything, like skating on an ice rink. So you're going to find that they'll boot the power down, and they thought, well, okay, I've got to accelerate. Oh, no, not what I wanted. Lawrence Sverdloff and a few others got compromised, and, yeah, just took out McCartney and Nathaniel James, who obviously wanted to have a chance at competing for. So that eliminates 2 carts, which puts us down to 23 runners and riders. So we've got a little bit of a delay whilst they do the clean-up. Marshalling team here at Rye House always doing a fantastic job, and a big thank you to them for expediting things very, very quickly and in shipshape and Bristol fashion. But it's going to be an interesting one. You know, we've got some great competitors out there. We've got Mike Spencer, the old warhorse, ready to go into battle with a young crowd, and I think he could put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Drivers start to take their seats now, so it looks like we're going to get going again for a restart. Now, of course, after this happening, I'm sure these drivers are going to be taking extra caution now at the start, even though they're going to want to break away.
I think if they get another rolling, because they'll go onto a full rolling start formation. So, in terms of the starting order, it will be Liam Ferguson, Alfie Haralambous. Well, the thing is that the clock has started in some ways showing them all across, but what we'll do is we'll get the racing action underway. I'm not going to worry about a grid because, simply put, if you've got some popcorn and a beer and you're sitting at home watching the TV, watching this live stream, you will be entertained. And my voice might start to sound a bit gravelly now, Anthony, but that's the pitfall of being a commentator, isn't it?
Yes, you commentated a long time. I commentated for 6 hours yesterday. My voice after the last couple of hours was non-existent.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it happens.
And
Plenty of fluids.
Yeah, well, I've had 3 bottles of fluids, and obviously people might say, oh, it sounds a bit gravelly, Alex. I said, well, yeah, but normally at the points when I need to be vocal, it happens. And you know on that when we worked on the C1 24 hours. So they go into the 2x2 rolling start formation. Nice and tidy this time around. We go racing for the final time in the 2019 London Cup. And already the lead. Oh, contact at the front of the field. And that involved Ferguson. Who was the other involved? That could have been Mike Spencer, I think. Not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure it was Mike Spencer, yeah.
Yes.
I think they got a little bit tangled up, and the 65 for Ferguson went over the top of the back of Spencer as well.
And there's yellow flags being waved. And that is off the exit of Reg's elbow. But Mike Spencer, the old warhorse, struck very, very firmly alongside Liam Ferguson. So straight away, Spencer gets into the lead of the race on lap 1. Haralambous, Sanders, Drury, Berry, Rawson, Whitbread, Cater, Keeble, Storar, Stevenson, Keith Gumbrell. And also Tom Sullivan is the driver not racing. He's out of this race, so we're down to 22. If Tom Richards can keep on circulating, as Alfie Haralambous now is charging at Mike Spencer.
Oh, no!
And Haralambous into the wall. Oh.
And the reason that happened, Mike Spencer got very loose under braking. If we've got a replay of it, I'd love to see it. But you could see that Spencer, and there's another victim there at pylon. 2 more victims, the 61 spins as well. But he got loose, and that massively distracted Haralambous, and it caused him to go into the puddle there at pylon, and it's a huge disaster.
That's really big things happening. That's shaken up the order yet again. So Spencer, let's have a look at this. Spencer goes sideways, drifts. Body language, and that cart was grabbing on the rear axle.
Yeah, definitely so. Back with the action, though. The gap between first and second is as close as ever. Half a second between those two as we're looking at the battle.
No, I think Sanders has taken the lead. Has Sanders got the lead? Not quite, but they're running in the 39.5s. Mike Spencer absolutely setting the timesheets in light purple. Sanders is in second. Aaron Drury now in third place. Haralambous in fourth. Cater now in fifth. And Cater's only 4.9 seconds off of the leaders.
As you can see there, going through paddock again. And those conditions after that incident has kicked up a load of water onto the circuit, and that's making it very hazardous around that pylon corner now.
So Aaron Drury now trying to close up on George Sanders a little bit further down the order. Let's have a look at the start again. So Spencer and
And the 65 wrestling away there.
Liam Ferguson.
Mechanical black flag for Jack Richards. You can just see Spencer goes for the gap.
Yep.
There's not enough room. He's got nowhere else to go. And it sends the 65 of Liam Ferguson spinning. And that rear axle very forlorn as a result of that. But now Spencer has got a lead of over 1.3 seconds ahead of George Sanders. Aaron Drury trying to chase him down at the moment for second. Alfie Haralambous and Hayden Cater a little bit further afield. Cater now dropping well off Alfie Haralambous to the tune of around 2.3 seconds. George Whitbread, Philip Rawson, Thomas Starrar, Sean Berry and Riley Stevenson in the 87 rounds out the top 10. And Spencer just is keeping, well, he's been trying to keep his nose clean. But that was a very difficult move. I mean, he went for the gap, and as the late Ayrton Senator Silva said, if you don't go for a gap, you are not a racing driver. Mike Spencer is a racing driver, and here is the change. Looks to be for second position as Aaron Drury goes up the inside to take second away from the 51 of George Sanders. 5 minutes and 21 seconds plus an additional lap left to go in the 2019 Rye House London Cup, brought to you in association with Screed Force Limited.
Yep, that's a good, clean overtake through that last sector. Personal best for the second, third and fourth drivers as they start to now make trying to close that gap up to Mike Spencer. The gap was 2.726 last time round. These guys hopefully are going to start working together to try and close that.
They are not. They are squabbling like two little children
of course.
After the last dessert of the restaurant. Still side by side. Look at this. This is brilliant racing between Drury and Sanders. Nice and controlled and composed. And this is allowing Mike Spencer, well, if he gets a 5-second post-race penalty for a front fairing issue, he's done that up to 3 seconds.
He is indeed. So let's see what we've got on this one. The gap has opened up again slightly. Contact warning for Tom Thompson on the 32. And that's quite further down the field in 11th place at the moment. Well, actually in 10th place. So that may be the reason why he's got 10th.
And probably on a move on up the inside of Sam Gumbrell, who's now down in 11th in the 37. Harvey Hoddick up into 12th place now. Great work from the 2019 Rye House IKL Senior Rotax champion. So he was the first of the 4 qualifiers in the B final. He's making some steady progress. It's not going to be enough for him in terms of time. I mean, if you had 12 minutes, it might give him a fair crack at the whip. But in the meantime, Aaron Drury's just set his best lap of the race, whereas Mike Spencer is clocking out. He's definitely the first one to the clocking station, trying to get out of work quickly than anybody else, and he's 3.285 seconds up the road from Aaron Drury and trying to comfortably extend the gap. Drury's just put in his personal best as up the inside there. That's a great move for position. That's Philip Rawson going up the inside of George Whitbread for 6th place through the outfield hairpin, as Cater getting really feisty behind Haralambous now for what is 4th position. So the defending London Cup champion under the cosh, 3 minutes 20 plus an additional lap left to go, and it is quite literally 3.5 tenths between Cater in 5th, Haralambous in 4th, with Sanders in 3rd. Drury now sets the fastest lap of the race and takes 2/10 of a second out of Mike Spencer. Spencer still running in the 37.6s. His best is a 37.625, but Aaron Drury's just put in a 37.405 on that last lap, and that's impressive pace. He wants to try and close down. He's got just under 3 minutes to do it, Anthony. Can he do it? Is the big question.
Well, it's a tough call, isn't it? So not a lot of time, of course, but these carts going around at such an extensive pace now. Anything could be possible, of course. So Drury and Spencer running at the front. First and second. Contact warning for Will Keith in the 19 cart. He's down in 14th place at the moment, 23 seconds behind the race leader. 2.5 minutes to go as we look at this. Oh, and there's contact here, the 97 involved, and that is Aaron Drury. Drury, second place, is out.
Drury is out of the running. That's a real disaster, and that looks to be maybe the 24... Oh, no, not the calamity that is Chris Calava. If we can have a look at that replay, because I just want to sort of see what happened.
It was kind of the back end of it.
Well, Calava was a back marker,
there it is.
And he's just got in the way of Aaron Drury, and Drury has just sort of had been thrown a curveball, and this has given a proper gain for Mike Spencer, of all people. He's got a lead of 4.852 seconds over George Sanders.
as Alfie Harry-Lambus and Hayden Cater are now taking chunks of time out of each other and also out of those in front. So Mike Spencer now is going to complete very shortly lap number 13. We've got just over 90 minutes to go as Cater is being closed on by Philip Rawson. Rawson sensing a podium here. This is for the final step on the rostrum. Harry-Lambus has that prime opportunity to be on the podium for the second season in succession, but Cater, Rawson really going hammer and tongs, and he set the fastest lap of the race at 37.027, and he took nearly 3/10 out of Hayden Cater. I think Philip Rawson is clearly the danger man for the final step on the podium with 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock remaining plus an additional lap.
Yeah, the 29 looking very strong there at the back of this group of three as they dive into pylon corner again for the 13th time. 13 laps completed so far, as you say, with 1 minute, 1 lap remaining as these guys now head round paddock and they're asked to slow down. There's yellow flags and we're not sure what's happened. Who's at the 40?
Oh, that is the 40 of Thomas Starrar there. No, who's had a mechanical there. So that's a shame for him running up in terms of that. But obviously the tail, obviously looking back at that replay that we saw between Chris Calava and Aaron Drury. Drury, I think, just got caught up as Tom Thompson sets the fastest lap of the race and goes sub 37. 36.957 as we go into the last 30 seconds. And it is game on. Alfie Harry-Lambus has now started to pull away as both Rawson, who's now overtaken Cater. Cater going back up the inside of the 29 as they go side by side, heading into the S's, but the 29 fractionally ahead thus far. As the leader now comes through, that is Mike Spencer, who has a whopping 5.746 second lead. As we go into the last 10 seconds of the race meeting and of the 2019 Rye House London Cup. Cater, what a cheeky little move, but Rawson compromised himself by going through the standing water off of Reggie's elbow. That puts him out of 4th, down into 5th place. As looks like very shortly time's expired. This is going to be the final lap of the race when Mike Spencer crosses the finish line, which he does now. 950 metres for the 48 of Mike Spencer to negotiate his lead now. As Sanders crosses the line, 5.681 seconds. Harry-Lambus, Cater, Rawson. That's your top 5.
Doing a great job so far, but as you say, last lap time for Mike Spencer, 16 laps completed. He's only got a few hundred metres to go before he can potentially be crowned 2019 London Cup champion.
So he's coming round into the final corner. Couple of corners is Mike Spencer. Round paddock he comes. Mike Spencer does the Sebastian Vettel, taps the side pod and knows that he has got the 2019 Rye House London Cup title in senior Rotax in the bag as one of the marshals looks to assist somebody else. Philip Rawson, in the meantime, set the fastest lap of the race, and that is the 24. That is Chris Calava having a calamity of a last lap, which put him out of the running. Oh, that's not what you want. Oh, Chris, just take it easy, mate. We know you want to get the car back on circuit, but nearly getting jumped on by your own kart is not what you want as he refires the engine up. But Mike Spencer, provisionally speaking, becomes the 2019 Rye House London Cup Senior Rotax champion as they're checking for front fairings there, as is mandatory within Rotax racing circles. Spencer takes the win provisionally ahead of George Sanders. Alfie Harry-Lambus, no. Chris Calava has got a very wobbly rear axle. The left rear is absolutely vibrating. That tyre could come asunder any second, wouldn't you say, Anthony?
Oh, definitely so. That's not how you want to go around. I'm sure that's quite an uncomfortable ride he's got there.
That's the Latino version of the Senior Rotax, isn't it? Yeah, forget Ricky Martin. Definitely, but that's going to be a few fix-me-ups in the winter season.
Yes.
But with regards to the finishing order, Mike Spencer, provisionally speaking, becomes the 2019 Rye House London Cup champion.
So we head to the midway point. Third out of 5 choices. Has to go to the IAME Cadet final on the Bambino Kart Club Winter Cup in 2019 at Whilton Mill in Northamptonshire. The last ever race meeting that the Bambino Kart Club would be operating under the BKC before joining forces with John Hoyle at Super 1 for 2020. The IAME Cadet final had some great talent in there, some great talents for the future, quite a few prominent names known within the UK karting fraternity, but it all went south very quickly on one particular moment shortly after the race got underway.
Well, I know that the Baccinis are watching. I know that quite a few people are watching, especially here at the circuit, because we have our penultimate race of the 2019 Bambino Kart Club Winter Cup. There's Lewis Werrell. There is the number 55 of Kamyab from Fusion Motorsport. There we have Macaulay Bishop. Good little lad he is. Little character as well, but a blooming good driver. Let's see what he's able to do here. There is Zachary Knight. There is the number 20 of Jack Buckley from Ireland as they get them underway. There's also one of the other ORM drivers. That's Kit Bolofsky. So, hold on to your hats. You think the Honda Cadet one was spicy? IAME is just... You can be on tenterhooks whenever it's a Cadet race. And this is no exception. Let's run through the final grid for IAME Cadet here at BKC Winter Cup 2019 at Whilton. So your front row is Nathan Tighe and Cathal Clark, both from ORM. Then it's Lewis Werrell and William Knight. So it's an ORM front two-row lockout, followed by Roman Kamyab. Hadi Mamassi in sixth, ahead of Macaulay Bishop and Michael Gray, rounding out the top 8 positions. So we've got Zachary Knight and Sebastian Mims rounding out the top 10 ahead of Jack Buckley, Eden Spanswick, Kit Bolofsky, Ben Crosley, Ben Smith and Jack Mowat, who round out the top 16. And it looks like we could be racing very, very shortly indeed. Do we go lights out? I'm just going to keep an eye on this. And that is a full start. Full start called. So I got as far as 16th. So 17th, Ben Smith, 18th, Kai Semi, Tig Buckley in 19th, Kian Amy, Cody Lepatorel, Ethan Woodward, Tyler O'Neill, Kazra Kamyab. Then we've got Logan Howes, Zach Green, Connor Duncan, Ryan Gill, Mason Bishop. For some reason, Macaulay Bishop showing all the way down at the bottom of the grid, but it will be back in position, I'm sure, very shortly, with Kanishk Rao rounding out the 13th one strong. So it was called a full start. Ominous sign, this, isn't it? But credit to where credit is due. And so we just had another well wish on YouTube. Harry Friel again says, keep pushing Harley, Noah and Felix. That's obviously to do with the C50s that we've just had on there as well. So Harley Musk, Noah Baglin and Felix Hill. So second time, please. Let's go lights out, shall we? Because we've got 2 more races to go. We all want to get home. Lights on the starting gantry. Go. Oh, no. That's a second full start. And there is a straggler at the back. That's Kanzik Rao, who's not at the back of the grid. If the race director is not happy, if they have a third one, I know that a red flag will be called and they'll be pulled to the front of the grid. People to be, they may bring everybody to the front of the grid and have a word with them, or it could be a particular couple of drivers. And I've seen it before where they've pulled the entire grid to a standstill and they'll stick them on a formation lap and get them going round and say to them, right, third time, not acceptable. First, second time I can understand it. Third time, it's a bit too much. Right, so... This is where it gets interesting. You wanted anticipation being built up. You've got it now thanks to our IAME Cadet division here at the 2019 Bambino Kart Club Winter Cup. Being held here at Whilton Mill Kart Club in Daventry, Northamptonshire. Approximately 20 minutes drive from Silverstone, the home of British motor racing. So there are a few stragglers. They're not into formation. Hadimi Massi has just pulled to the side and is getting out of the kart. Hadi Mamassi will not start the final. That's a disaster for the young Canadian. So they have started the clocks. They've got them racing. Warning for Macaulay Bishop already with Hadi Mamassi out of the race before it's even gotten started. And there's the number 55 of Roman Kamyab getting involved. Macaulay Bishop on the inside of the 55. Oh, that was close. And there, Kamyab's off. Kamyab has gone shortcutting
through no fault of his own, absolutely frustrated. And was that the 73 of Sebastian Mims that was involved? Not sure, because I knew that Macaulay Bishop was the driver on the inside. So we're going to have the likes of Ty, Clark, Werrell and the two Knight brothers up at the front of the field. And already we've got yellow flags. Yellow flags because of Hadi Mimasi. Hadi Mimasi is walking back to the kart, and that is not going anywhere. So Hadi Mimasi's BKC Winter Cup main final didn't even start, didn't even get going. So Lewis Werrell leads the way by 2/10 from Nathan Tait. Cathal Clark, William Knight, Zachary Knight, Eden Spanswick, Jack Buckley. Now Macaulay Bishop has dropped all the way down to 18th position, but he's got time and he's got pace. I know for a fact that I'm sure that people will be cheering for him to go forward as that. Oh no, that's multiple karts off of Ashby's. Now what is the problem there? Is there fluid on the circuit? That's absolute pandemonium. Karts are spinning off. I'm sure that's going to be a red flag. That needs to be a red flag. There's something not gone right there. That's fluid. That's oil or coolant or some description that has sent a third of the field off at Ashby's. And one of the Knights brothers is one of them. 36. Lewis Werrell's out as well. Werrell's out. 7. And so slippery surface flags. Slippery surface flags. If there's that many drivers out on circuit, fluid has been spilt. So yeah, so it's effectively calling a safety kart, so to speak. So I've got a feeling whether Hadi Mimasi's kart has spilled fluid and it's caused it to break down, because this has completely changed. I'm looking at how many drivers. Right, okay. The list is as follows. There are some that are getting going again. Ty Buckley, Connor Duncan, Mason Bishop, Ethan Woodward, Michael Gray, Michael Walker, Jack Mowat, Sebastian Mims. Well, there's quite a few drivers. There's some that are getting going. There's the 73 there, and that is of Sebastian Mims. That is the 36 of Zachary Knight. There's the that's the 69 of Eden Spanswick. So that is uncharacteristic. You can, for those watching at home, you can see that there is some kind of fluid that is basically as soon as a particular type of fluid hits slick tyres, the temperature cools, but then because it affects the compound, and there is someone that is Ethan Woodward off at Oblivion on the right-hand side. So something has happened that has caused there to be a major problem at Ashby's. So yeah, slippery surface flags now also being shown, and that's at Ashby's. They're telling them to stay off of that, off the inside of Ashby's. No, the outside of Ashby's, sorry. And that's where the fluid has been spilt. So they have been told, and the drivers need to slow down. That's a big, because there are at least 12 to 13 karts involved. That is a third of the field. And when I tell you that there are drivers that are quite clearly out of position, one of them is Logan Howes. He was down at the bottom part of the field, and he's in 11th position. 11th position. Cody Lepaterel has been running at the back part of the lower third of the field. He's running in P7. Macaulay Bishop has got, he's had a lifeline thrown to him. Thrown to him with all of this that's just transpired. That is a commentator truly speechless. And they are telling the drivers to stay away from the slippery area on Ashby, because what needs to happen, something needs to happen here. And the thing is that drivers have been told numerous times, just please stay away from here, stay away from this part of it. So at the minute, obviously they're at a reduced pace because of the incident that happened, and that is the most dramatic I mean, if anyone remembers a Moto GP, I think it's Moto 2 or Moto 3, now we're back under green flags. This is where it's now going to start. We've got it's a 2-minute 30 sprint plus an additional lap. So Clark has got to fend off the likes of Roman Kamyab, Ben Smith, Macaulay Bishop. Now this is where it's going to be a telling point as Bishop goes up the inside of Ben Smith, as does Nathan Tye. So Nathan Tye keeping himself in contention here. Slippery surface flags, so they're going to have to watch what they're doing here. So in many respects, they have to respect those flags at Ashby's, and that means there's going to be a bit of a clean-up between this and also the IAME Bambino final. So at the moment, Macaulay Bishop has got an opportunity here to go after the win. And it would seal off a great season for the youngster in the number 9 at the minute as they come round pit bend. And Bishop is closing on Cathal Clark. He's taken nearly half a second out of him. 90 seconds. Clark has got to watch it. Bishop now knows this is the time to strike. This is the opportunity he needs. And there are drivers that really felt, well, I might have been able to do things here, but it's just turned this all upside down on its head as Macaulay Bishop is closely following. I think he's as there's the number 32 going off. That is off of Ashby's. Michael Walker's gone off at Ashby's. And Macaulay Bishop is leading. He's leading with 50 seconds to go. He got the move done round sort of Inkerman's, Ashby's, Wilkins. So Macaulay Bishop now has an opportunity to just keep himself composed for the next 38 seconds plus a lap. He knows he's got that chance to go for it. And he started his career in the Bambino Kart Club. He's gone on to international success like the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals. Henry Baudet, you are missing out on a perler here, my friend, Boyle. You're missing out on a perler. They're having to watch it going towards the outside of Ashby's, but Macaulay Bishop has this plus one more lap. He's got about 1,700 metres to go. There's this great battle here, and that's between Ben Smith and Kai Zemi for P5. That's the bottom part of the top 5 gets trophies. Ben Smith is on course for a trophy. Time has now expired, with so many of the front runners being thrown out. Well, it's like the slippery surface was the meat thrown into the wolf pack, and it tore them all asunder. Final lap board is out. Macaulay Bishop has an 0.87 second lead over Cathal Clark. Nathan Tye in 3rd place. Roman Kamyab in 4th ahead of Kai Semi, Ben Smith, Jesse Phillips up to P7. Kian Amy, Cody Lepetorel, Ben Crosley now drops down a couple of places behind Jack Buckley and William Knight. Kit Bolofsky now overtakes Kanish Rao, Ryan Gill, Tyler O'Neill. Macaulay Bishop is just literally not that far away. He's going through Ogiers for the final time. He now knows. He got the last lap signal. This is the opportunity he wanted. He got past Cathal Clark when he needed to, and he's going to come through the boot. Round the final corner comes the number 9 of Macaulay Bishop, who wins in IAME Cadet here at Whilton Millimis Drama at Ashby's. Well done, Macaulay Bishop, you absolute opportunistic. I don't know what to say. I am truly lost for words in a final that you could have not predicted. Wow. Macaulay Bishop wins the BKC Winter Cup IAME Cadets category, provisionally speaking. So all results, as I call them, are provisional, pending any scrutineering and sporting checks post-race. Cathal Clark in 2nd ahead of Nathan Tye. So 2 drivers from Oliver Rowland Motorsport will be on the top 5 in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Roman Kamyab from Fusion in 4th place ahead of Kai Semi. Ben Smith, Jesse Phillips in 7th ahead of Kian Amy, Cody Lepatorel and Jack Buckley rounding out the top 10. William Knight recovers to 11th ahead of Ben Crossley. Kit Bolofsky, Ryan Gill, Kanishk Rao finished in P15 ahead of Michael Gray, Tyler O'Neill, Zach Green, Kazra Kamyab, Mason Bishop. Logan Howes takes 21st in his first IAME Cadet final in his karting career. And we had Jack Mowat, Michael Walker, Connor Duncan, Lewis Werrell, Zachary Knight, Eden Spanswick, Tyg Buckley and Sebastian Mims finishing all a lap down, with Ethan Woodward unfortunately finishing his race on lap number 2. But all I can say is one word. Fraser, you're going to understand this one. Bedlam.
So number 2 on my list, it was a tough one to call, but I think in terms of race finishes, especially a 24-hour race, from my perspective, couldn't have gotten any better. The 2019 Distrigo Parts Distribution Citroen C1 24 hours race was something that I will never forget as a commentator. Qualifying, the pole sitter got demoted back to the last position of the 99 strong grid. We had over 420 odd drivers. We had the likes of Howden Haynes, Dario Franchitti. We even had Mark Werrell and David Christie, 2 well-recognised commentators, both in the UK and internationally, and also in Scotland, respectively, competing in what was an interesting tete-a-tete between 99 road legal Citroen C1, some of which came off worse than others, Team USA. But the 15 minutes that came to the inevitable conclusion of that race was something that both myself and Scott Woodwiss in the commentary box, just off the overlooking the National Pit Straight, we couldn't believe our eyes. And here it is, all in full.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now into the final 15 minutes of the Distrigo Parts Distribution C1 24 hours at Silverstone, and the charge from Mac Attack, with Simon Walker-Hansel still continuing to put in very consistent lap times.
But he's only taken out, what's the lap time? He took out just 3 seconds that time, so it's 43.0.
So, at the moment, with the way things are, I think for Simon Walker-Hansel to have at least halved that, well, he's over halved that gap that was around 1 minute 30 between himself and the 385 of Circuit Pro. Now, I just want to see with our leaders, let's see what Harrison does. How many fingers will he stick out of the window this time? Will it still be on 2 bars? Because we are fast approaching the end of this race. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. So Simon Harrison, along with Timothy Hartland and Patrick Watts, two of which are, it's the Peugeot reunion band, as you so rightly put.
Yeah.
Scott. So they've done a really, really good job. Now, where did they qualify is my next question.
I'd like to think they qualified fairly high up the grid. In the top half, I'd like, at the very least.
I'm just going to check that now. But yeah, for them to do such a great job. Yeah, qualified 14th. So they were in the top 15.
But they've gone the distance, and the cars have 1 or 2 dramas. Of course, one of the headlights, one of the wing mirrors being held on by gaffer tape. You can see with how it's been sort of structured.
And the right front corner has been a little bit scuffed, so to speak, as Simon Walker-Hansel again comes through the loop, nearly cocking the left rear wheel on that Citroen C1.
Just interesting enough, we have gone past 400 laps now, so we're going to be completing 401 laps this time by. Let's look out the commentary box window to spot Simon Harrison. Here he comes. What does he hold up this time?
2 fingers. 2 fingers. So that's still a very good sign. And he's just done a 3:07.
As for there, that is where Mac Attack Racing is. They've brought the gap in that much. He's just gone through Copse Corner, whereas now Mac Attack Racing turn their way into Brooklands and Luffield. They're going to dive up the inside of the 464 into Luffield Corner. Simon Walker-Hansel probably driving that front-wheel drive car harder and faster than he's ever driven anything else, I think, in this point, to try and get that gap down as much as possible. The Master Chain asking, is car 416 out of the race?
No, C1 USA is still circulating, I believe. So
yeah, 416, 86th position with Myers at the wheel. So they're currently sitting 86th. There is Simon Harrison.
12 minutes to go. This is getting very, very interesting indeed.
The last lap, oh, good as me. That was a 3-minute 7.0, 3-minute 1.9. That's another 6 seconds taken out by Simon Walker. So 37 seconds is now the gap. So unless he has to keep on backing off, it's going to be very, very tight. Now, what you're seeing here, this is a fantastic shot which has been organised, I think, by Mr. Darren S. Cook and the rest of the Scruffy Bad Alpha live picture team. That is the drone camera that's gone up in the air, looking over the pit straight.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you will see something very, very special. We were due to have the start under the drone, but unfortunately, due to the increased exacerbated wind speeds, which were ranging up between 16 to 20 kilometres per hour, unfortunately the drone can only fly at a maximum, I think, is about 10.5 kph wind speed in a certain in particular directions. As Team Merlin International, Alice Hughes still keeping it in 5th position. So the ladies, they are doing a fantastic job indeed.
And actually, look at it, they're on the same lap as the Citroen racing, and they've been. This battle's been going on ever since pretty much the going into Sunday this morning. It's been going on for the whole day, through the morning and through the afternoon between those two. But Citroen Racing appeared to have it under control for the time being.
So we're now on to the 402nd lap of this race. Scott, when Mr. Harrison comes to complete said lap of 402, we will have completed less than 30 miles shy of 1,500 miles here at Silverstone.
It's a 3.5 mile lap, I think, here, isn't it?
3.6.
3.6.
Well, give or take.
So 1,500 miles may be possible, depending on how many more laps they can get in that time. So we'll wait and see how that how the rest of that all plays out.
I mean, I think probably it could be around about 405 to 406 laps, which puts us a mere, what, that's going to be 4 laps, so that's probably going to be about 12 miles shy of 1,500.
Yeah.
But to see, as we now enter the final 10 minutes, there's Simon Walker-Hansel again in the 347 from Mac Attack. It was 37.9 seconds exactly last time around.
To make this work, he needs to be taking out pretty much, well, more than 10 seconds a lap, 8 or 9 seconds up, 10 seconds a lap pretty much to get this done. He needs Simon Harrison to really be backing off on the fuel.
Right, Simon
goes past the pits. What that last
3 minutes
7.1. So he really has backed off he's backed it off considerably to try and get this car across the line.
It's going to be close.
It is going to be close. I fear, despite this Herculean effort from Simon Walker-Hansel and the Muck Attack racing team, I think, but credit where credit's due, it may or may not be the win. We don't know just yet until we get to the end of the race and the checkered flag. But credit where credit's due, from 99th to 2nd on the grid. I mean, that in itself is a fantastic effort, nonetheless. So across the line goes Muck Attack Racing. That's a new fastest lap of the race. They're still pushing hard, even at this stage. A 3 minutes .207, brand new fastest lap of the race. Simon Walker-Hansel is not letting this race go down without a fight.
And that's 6.9 seconds faster than the leader in that lap alone. He sees a little chance here.
Now the question is, are we going to see a 59? Can we get a sub 3 minute lap time? Is it possible at this late stage of the race with the fuel as low as it is? Can we possibly get a sub 3?
Anything's possible. We've got 8.5 minutes remaining on the clock here. And I tell you what, if that happens, not only will we have Simon Walker-Hansel decimating a 1.5 minute gap by an absolute landslide in the final hour of this race, but also being just a mere 2/10 of a sub 3 minute lap here. That's under one. If he gets under 180 seconds, that will be one thing that will just really put the icing on the cake. Even if they don't get the victory, that will be, I think, one of the best ways to finish a race, to get the fastest lap. And yeah, I mean, oh, Anthony Jordan's just Facebooked me and has got, well, Facebooked the commentary team chat and has gone another 3 minute 2, lol. Wait until 2:59 shows up, Jordan. It could happen. So we are into 7 minutes 24 seconds remaining. And Circuit Pro are on now lap number 403. Bearing in mind that those looking at the TSL timing, the 402 is how many laps have been completed, but does not take into account the current lap that the leader is doing at the moment.
We've got the 447 cars going a bit slow. Oh, there is Mech Racing.
He definitely knows that he's got a chance, but the time is ticking down. 6 minutes 53 on the clock. Is it going to be that Simon Walker-Hansel makes the fairy tale story truly complete from dead last to the top step of the podium? And there you go, 3 minute 0.207. Simon's on the flashes again in the 347, just saying to people, please get out of my way, I've got a job to do here.
And one of the guys is going to go around next to the Esports and Stars car. There goes Simon Harrison. What's the last lap for him? 3 minutes 7.6. He's lapping in 3 minute 7s. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, unless Simon Walker-Hansel starts pumping in sub 3 minute laps, which I think he's not going to be dealing with, particularly with cars getting in the way like this around the outside. He's got the 306 to get headlights flashing again to move out of the way. What's the lap this time by? He's going to get a tow from the cars in front, which is going to be helpful. Up the inside line over the curbs. He's going to go 3 abreast at this stage, goodness me. That time for him now, 3 minutes 1.02. 24.3 is now the gap between first and second.
It's too close.
Yeah, it's close, but I hate to say it, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's going to be, looking how many laps we've got left, how many we've got going on, I think what the trade-off is now is Simon's pace now. Does he back it off to do less laps, or does he now sort of keep on going to try and get himself through the order, to kind of keep on, make sure he maintains the gap? This is the trade-off he has to make in his mind. How much can he afford to back it off to just get over the line before Mech Racing catch him? He's on the hanger straight. Incredibly, look at this. Already up onto the hanger straight and through Stowe Corner. That's how close it's getting now. Through the right hand of Stowe Corner. Now onto the hanger straight comes Mech Racing. The camera will pan round. Look at the top of the shot. Where's Mech Racing? We zoom in. Whereabouts is he? There he is, midway through. There's a car's pulled off to the left-hand side. We've lost a car that's pulled off at the end of the race. So that is unfortunately a car. If he can't make it to the flag, will exit the race in the last 5 minutes. That's damage. That is damage on the front left.
And that is not going anywhere. That is pointing.
That is... That's
pointing to the left. That's pointing outwards to the left.
That's had contact with somebody or something. I can't quite say exactly who it is. It's a car with a 4 on it, so... Is that the 400 car, actually, maybe? Is that the 400 that had the issue earlier on?
The 400 was involved in the wars, wasn't it?
That might be TCS Motorsport that had the incident up at Brooklands. It could be TCS Motorsport.
They've also got another sister
Meanwhile,
car.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the flashes are on again on the 347.
This is... we talk about getting tense at Le Mans and Daytona. This is tension. This is absolutely incredible. So now into Abbey Corner goes Simon Walker-Hansel. Whatever happens, to put in this kind of an effort, he'll be treated like a hero by his team at least.
If he uses the words like Richard Hammond did one day on Top Gear, saying, I am a racing god, no, you will be a racing legend, which you are, Simon Walker-Hansel.
Now see, here's the key part here now. We've got less than 4 minutes to go on the clock. A lap is 3 minutes 7 seconds, or 3 minutes for these guys. Are we going to get 2 more laps? That's the question, and what... And so this is the trade-off, the calculations. There it's Mech Racing at the top Wellington straight.
Now this is really going to be interesting because we are now on lap number 404. The next time Simon Harrison crosses the line for Circuit Pro, we will be on to the 405th and possibly...
I think it will be the penultimate lap as he comes across, because it will be 3 minutes 10. The only way you can try and get around that is... This is the battle to decide. Does he back it off so this is the last lap of the race? Could cross the line. He's flashing. He was sort of looking like making like a flashing sort of sound. I think maybe is that the light coming on for the fuel?
Possibly.
That might be light for the fuel. Here comes Mech Racing. 3 minutes 7 again. 0.202 for Harrison.
Oh, here comes Simon Walker-Hansel about to cross the start-finish line.
What's it going to be?
He does now. 18.8 seconds is the difference. 3:01.7. It's not going to be enough, I think.
Well, he's got 2 more laps to go now, effectively, because if Harrison has to carry on for 2 more laps, the only way you can really do this is if he back this off enough.
Right. Well, we'll
to be able to get this victory done. Into Stowe Corner he goes for what could be the last time.
But it just depends on when the final lap board gets shown to Simon Harrison from Circuit Pro in the 385. 1 minute and 45 seconds on the clock remain here in the Distrigo Parts Distribution C1. 24 hours here at Silverstone.
as we've got another well, that had to...
That car's got serious rear suspension there. But look at that, the car to the left-hand side. Look at its left rear wheel. There is Simon Walker-Hansel closing the gap back in once again. That car, that's the 431 that's had the problem. And that is Melchi Motorsport. That's the Ronald Johnson, Steve Jones.
Oh, Kermit in the 447. Good spot there, Dan Blake.
Now here's the interesting question here. Look at this. We've got a minute and 6 on the clock. I'm not sure it's enough. He's going to have to do one more lap, I think. Yeah. Is it one more lap then for Simon Harrison?
I think, yeah. I mean, that's
because I don't think he's trying to slow down, but I don't think he'd afford to do that because unless he gets caught on the last lap. The gap is 8 seconds, and look at that. There is Simon Walker-Hansel. It is literally that close down the back straight. Look at the gap now. There is Harrison.
They're on the same straightaway now. That's the Wellington straight.
And I'm sure you can see he's literally 5 cars ahead. I've never known tension like this in a race.
And Simon Harrison now clings on to the lead, I think, with dear anticipation, hoping that Simon Walker-Hansel will not go for it.
Another car stop. He's now got to try and make this last 20 seconds. If he's not going to do it, I don't think. Unless he really backs it off, he's not going to do it.
He's trying to go at a crawl here. Look, Viking's trying to go up the inside. It's going to be...
It's going to be one more lap. They're not going to do it.
No.
9 seconds left. They've got one more time. They've miscalculated
He's crossed the line at 7 seconds to go.
There's one more lap to go. One more lap to 3 minutes 12. Walker-Hansel goes across the line. What's the lap time for him? This is the last lap of the race. 3 minutes 12. Oh! It is 7 seconds on the last lap of the race. This is absolutely incredible. So they've mistimed it. You have to get back up to speed. Could we see the lead in this C1 24 Silverstone possibly change on the final lap of the race? This is astonishing.
All I'm going to say now is in the hands. The ball is in the court.
And there he is.
Walker-Hansel. He's got one more car between himself and the leader of this race, going through Mayes, Beckett and Chappell.
They're in the same shot together. They're through Chappell. This is absolutely phenomenal.
If you wanted a grandstand finish,
they're now one car apart. He can see them on the road. This is absolutely unbelievable. There they are together at the top of the hangar straight. Has Harrison got enough, or is there going to be a change for the lead? This is absolutely dramatic.
Walker-Hansel now has this fantastic opportunity. The team in the 347 disqualified post-qualifying for being 4 kilos underweight, started 99th and dead last, and on the final lap of this 24-hour race at Silverstone, look how close he is to Simon Harrison!
He really is having to back it off it. He's in the same part of the track. They're up towards the complex. We could see the lead change here before we get towards Abbey Corner. This is absolutely an unbelievable finish here to the C1 24 Hours. We could see the victory change on the last lap of the race. Up through Vale, up through Cloak. Where are the leaders? The Werrell car is struggling. It's going to be side by side. He's through. He's done it. Simon Walker-Hansel is through.
He takes the lead on the final lap on the international pit straight. You couldn't have scripted this. Simon Walker-Hansel has come back from at least a minute and a half adrift of the Circuit Pro 385 to take the lead on the final lap of this race. Scott, all I can say is in the words of Murray Walker, and look at that.
We thought that Toyota in 2017 was dramatic. That was on the second to last lap. This is the last lap of the race with half a lap to go.
Is being prepared on the start-finish line, and I tell you what a fairy tale on the centenary of Citroen here at the home of British motorsport. It's corners away for the 347 of Mack Attack Racing, and behind the wheel it's Simon Walker-Hansel. It's gonna be. He's trying to get the back markers out of the way. He wants to get away from Simon Harrison.
I can hear this. Dave Goddard and also Paul Trustle and Duncan Douglas there going crazy in the commentary box. He comes down towards the complex for the final time, and I repeat this now, 99th and last on the grid. He is now going to complete the perfect back to front finish. It will be the great escape as Mack Attack Racing comes to the final line. Alex coins the flag. What a performance, one of the most memorable 24-hour race, one of the most memorable finishes I've ever seen. What a finish, and what a deserving trio of winners.
Bon anniversaire Citroën as Simon Walker-Hansel from Mack Attack Racing in the 347 from Stone Dead Loss to victory at the Distrigo Pass Distribution 24 hours C1 Racing Club extravaganza here at the home of British motorsport Silverstone. I've never in my lifetime time, as a commentator, seen such a fantastic fairy tale story unfold before our very eyes.
And even Hollywood, I mean, it's a cliche saying, even Hollywood wouldn't believe it. That's incredible. And again, massive credit to Simon Harrison. They tried to play the percentage game to perfection. They just missed out by 1 lap. They came across the line with like 9 seconds to go. And look at the last lap. What's the last lap time? 3:15 was the last lap time for Simon Harrison. He was literally on probably fumes at the end of the race. And he lost now by 7.2 seconds. Walker Hansel closed in the 7-second gap and pulled out another 7 seconds. That is absolutely unbelievable. That might be one of the stories of the 2019 motorsport season. And look, Simon Walker-Hansel is absolutely ecstatic, and rightfully so.
Now,
that is a genuinely incredible performance. Again, we confirm this. Last to first. And that sounds something out of a video game, but trust us on this, it's real.
This is no Gran Turismo, this is no Assetto Corsa or Forza Motorsport, but Simon Walker-Hansel in the 347 of Mack Attack Racing, from last to first. A fairy tale story here at Silverstone, celebrating the centenary of Citroen. What a drive. Now, Scott, did Simon Walker-Hansel start this race? Because if he did, that would be unprecedented, the driver that starts and finishes.
I'm not sure. Let's have a look, because I did take a picture of the starting drivers just before the start of the race. We're all breathless here in the coach box. We just can't believe it. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look. I'll scroll through. The answer is yes, he did.
Well, the guy that started it for Mack Attack finished it and got the job done. So, ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Distrigo Parts Distribution Citroen Racing Club 24 hours at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit here in Motorsport Valley was won by the 347 team of Mack Attack Racing, just 7.291 seconds ahead of Circuit Pro. Commiserations to Patrick Watts and Simon Harrison. I have to say they did a fantastic job leading for the majority of this race. But you know what, Scott? I'm actually feeling, for the very first time as a commentator, after such an eclectic race, I'm actually feeling rather emotional.
I think what we should do is be fair to everyone else and obviously give them the juices to go through the finishing order as they come through. So, so this is, of course, provisional, the provisional finishing order of the Distrigo Citroen C1 Challenge 24 Hours. And again, we stress this, don't pinch yourselves. It's real. From 99th and last on the grid to the lead on the last half lap of the race. Mack Attack Racing with Simon Walker-Hansel, Declan McDonald and Joe Wiggin win here at Silverstone for 24 Hours. Second place for Circuit Pro. They held on until the last possible moment, but due credit and massive congratulations for second place anyway for Simon Harrison, for Patrick Watts and for Tim Hartland for getting it just almost there at the end in second place. In third place, a somewhat distant third place, but a deserving third place nonetheless, goes to car number 321. That is MSAR Old Hat Motorsport. They start on the front row of the grid. Callum Hutchings, Tony Hutchins, Daniel Bruce and James Keeping. In fourth place, Citroen Racing car 376. That had at the wheel of it. Adrian Burgess finished the race, but it's Adam Burgess, with Chris Nyland and Darren Beckley. Fifth is the all-female team. That's a popular finish for them in the top 5. Team Merlin International, car number 480, with Casey Milner, Alice Hughes, Sammy Bowler and Jemima Hepworth. Sixth place for Silver Lake Racing. That is car number 398, and that was Gary Prebles, Chris Southcott and Michael Harris. Seventh for Viking, car number 419, driven by Nicholas Grindrod, Richard Grindrod, Duncan Stone, Dean Tompkins and Paul Tompkins. Eighth place for ASR in car number 390. That is Alex Sedgwick, Callum Cripps, Scott Jeffs, Ryan Bensley, Kieran McDonald and Morgan Jones. Ninth place for 420 for Cockwomble. That was 390, driven by 420. Sorry, that's Scott Lawrence, Zoltan Shabby and Kristen Judge. Rounding out the top 10, a great effort for car 331. Bianco Auto Developments. You're seeing the rest of the order from 21st to 30th on these screens. We scroll through the results. There's a lot to get through, of course. For 330, that was. So 331. Sorry, that was Paul Plant, Barry McMahon, and Arthur McMahon. We might as well quickly go through from 11th interesting name, team name down towards the last bit. So 11th place 345 Emax Motorsport, 12th place for 351 GMP Developments Stand Up to Cancer, 13th place Bengineering 309, 14th place 452 SCC Performance, 15th place 411 Kraken Motorsport, 16th place is 406 Misty Racing, 17th place 318 Eastgate Automotive Racing, 18th place for 474 Akiri Celtic. As into the pit lane, to a round of applause from everyone, comes Simon Walker-Hansel. The cheers from the team, and well deserved. That was one of genuinely the best drives I've seen in not an endurance race, any motor race ever, and I promise you I'm not exaggerating when I say that. That was unbelievable.
That makes two of us, Scott, and great to see Akiri Celtic with Clapham North with George Grant bringing the 474 home. But what a way. I mean, where were we through the grid? I think we got to
roughly about as Eastgate Automotive Akiri Celtic, 18th place number 497 TCS Motorsport, sorry, 19th place, 20th place round up the top 20 367 Prep Tech Motorsport, 21st was number 375 Performance Preparation, 22nd number 319 Scuderia Sundial, 23rd was 396 Riverside Performance, 24th was number 359 Seto Motorsport, 25th was number 373 Midway Motorsport, 26th was number 449 Orange Motorsport, 27th place was 386 Young and Dumb, 28th place was number 377 OAP Racing, 29th place was Prep Tech 469, 30th place was 313 Fort Glen Whiskey, 31st was 430 Pink Tiger Racing, 32nd 357 SRR Motorsport, then we have 33rd is DHD Motorsport 330, 34th in the pit lane, it's in the pit at the moment, it seems there was 431 Melchi Motorsport, 35th was 387 GMP Development Stand Up to Cancer, 36th was the Edge Motorsport, 37th was the one of last year's 24 winners, Team Stella V.
Now it looks like, have we got a victory lap, or is this from when they were pulling into the pit lane? Because every car is now having to go into the Parc Fermé as per regulations.
Yeah.
So...
and that's a shame for the car that stopped on the side of the track. It's 5 minutes to go with the steering damage, and that's a heartbreak in that one. I'm going to quickly just run through the team names pretty much from where it was, because trying to go through numbers well is taking a little bit too lengthy. So 38th downwards then, so we've got 30 downwards, so get ready to take these quick. So 30th downwards, Sussex Road and Race, Whilton with JDC Racing, AASP Motorsport, Exit 13, MKN Scuderia Cologne, Brook Speed, Checkered Past, Car Sport, Escargot Racing, Esports and Stars, ELK Sabora Racing, Majestic Motorsport, Emax Motorsport, Rehab Racing, C1 Club, Rusty's Racing, Spy Motorsport, looks like they stopped on the last couple of laps, Roll Centre in 55th, and Rusty Nail Racing, Cat DT, Team Crossacre, Quattro Formaggio, Young and Old, Custard, Superleggera Racing, Emax Motorsport Max, Area Motorsport up to 65th after their earlier dramas. They're one of the favourite teams in that race. 66th Team Tavola, then Welsh Motorsport 67th from Alex and Holmes after their engine problems. All the BS, TCS Motorsport, Burton Power Racing, the third Prep Tech UK car. And parking, CDMC 464 Racing, Red Knicker with Ken Davies at the wheel, 76th, the legend that is Ken Davies himself, TCS Motorsport in 400, SETI 23, Team Rocky in 79th, GMP Developments with QSP Quitco, then it's Flying Haggis Racing, Red Rascal, Cock Endurance, ASP, C1 USA, Tollbar Racing, then SFSF Racing, Amigo Motorsport, ITC1, Majestic Motorsport, Midway Motorsport, Young at Heart, AB Motorsport, Manpower Motorsport, Avante Endurance Racing, HE Racing, Amigo Motorsport, and the two Atomic Racing cars, 98th and 99th in the classification.
So some statistics for you ladies and gentlemen out there. Just over 24 hours ago, we started this race with a record-breaking 99 cars for the biggest global single-make race in motorsport history. It is also the biggest UK-held event, the previous record being beaten by 24 cars. So we had a combined just over 6,700 horsepower through all 99 cars, 406 laps of the 3.661 mile circuit here at Silverstone equals a grand total that Mac Attack has covered, and the last few hundred, I must admit, with Simon Walker-Hansel behind the wheel, was 1,486 miles, 0.37. We were just less than 14 miles away from hitting 1,500. So the fairy tale has clearly been written. It's something that you could not dictate, you could not speculate or assume who would win,
But at the end of the day, it was the 347 of Mac Attack Racing, starting from 99th and stone dead last, with Simon Walker-Hansel starting and finishing the job to complete a fantastic win that no one could have seen coming, until we found that there was a lot of trials and tribulations for a lot of the teams that were leading the way, including the likes of Area Motorsport, Team C'est La Vie, and a few others besides. But when it was all said and done, congratulations to the 347 of Mac Attack Racing, with Simon Walker-Hansel doing the job here, with Citroen just one car short of celebrating its centenary here at Silverstone. It's a milestone event that I think is definitely fitting, and where better than to host it at the home of British motorsport at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. And I tell you what, when the next time the Citroen C1 Racing Series, sponsored by Distrigo Parts Distribution, goes into battle, the next 24-hour race is the first weekend of September at Anglesey International. And to be honest with you, for us all, myself, Scott Woodward, Dan Blake and Anthony Jordan, who will be going to the podium very, very soon, as we're now seeing all the cars lining up on the start-finish line here at the National Straight. And ladies and gentlemen, you might see something very special very, very soon, because to see 99 cars on the grid here starting at 5:30 yesterday afternoon, some have got no windshields, some have got multiple battered panels. I've just seen a 387 from one of the stand-up to cancer cars just go past, a bit stoved in on the right front wheel arch. But there's the car that came second best due to a risk, a calculated risk that unfortunately didn't pay off, with Circuit Pro ending up in second position, 7.2 off of the leaders. Firstly, before we go to any sort of podium celebrations, we'd like to thank the entire staff here at Silverstone Race Circuit here, the home of British motorsport in Motorsport Valley here, for their tireless dedication, for their volunteering of their service to help us enjoy such fantastic and eclectic racing like we've seen over the last 24 hours. And without the marshals from the United Kingdom, who go across the globe to the likes of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the Canadian Grand Prix, and so much more, to see them doing their duty here is something that humbles us as commentators and presenters, but also shows just how alive motorsport here is in the United Kingdom.
But my top pick, my number one out of my top 5, has to go to the 2019 Motorsport UK British Kart Grand Prix, aka Kartmasters. So we started at PF International, we return to the home of British karting for this top 5. It was a great weekend, 255 drivers, multiple different categories including X30, Rotax, and some drivers doing double duty, quite a few including Jordan Brown-Utley, Lewis Gilbert, Ben Barnicoat, who broke Mike Wilson's all-time record of 7 to extend it now to 9, and Ben that weekend did 2 GP plates yet again. He defended his senior X30 title. But the race that I'm sure that my good friend Mr. Tidy Darts, Henry Baudet, will agree with me, obviously Henry being the lead commentator at Kartmasters and the voice of Kartmasters as well, we could not believe our eyes. We were talking about medication in the later stages of the race, someone talking about a dark room, but it was a great way to finish off what was a fantastic weekend with sunshine aplenty all the way through. So Junior X30 Grand Prix Plate Final at Kartmasters 2019 is my top pick. You don't want to miss a single second of this one.
Go here at Kartmasters 2019. It is Junior X30, another 36 kart grid looking to add their name to to the 2019 Kartmasters Roll of Honour. It's been a fantastic day of racing, a history-making day of racing. Who is going to make their own piece of history now? Starting from pole position in kart number 42 for the Croc Promotions team is Caden McQueen. Now, this class has been fraught like every other. Caden McQueen has managed to emerge in front for the final. Caden, few minutes for the Grand Prix. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, really positive. We've been fast all day and shown great pace throughout the whole weekend. I think we've got a good opportunity and a good chance to win this, so yeah, no, feeling good.
I mean, you've been watching the other races through the dummy grid area. That last race there, you know, it's the same engine, just like a bigger restrictor. You know, have you thought about what this is going to mean for your race?
Well, you've just really got to stay at the front in this. It's going to be an absolute hack. Everyone's going to be overtaking everyone. It's a one-off weekend, so everyone wants to win.
Well, hack on and good luck.
Thanks.
No problem. So that's it's almost called him Steve McQueen there. That's Caden McQueen, Lightning McQueen, starting from pole position. Starting alongside him, Joseph Taylor. Now, Joseph, hail from the People's Republic of Thailand, Weir, for the Strawberry Racing team. Joseph, it's good to see you up here at the front. I mean, looking back there, any one of a dozen drivers can win this one. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really confident. We've been really fast all weekend, so hopefully we can just stay up the front and see what happens.
Yeah, escaping at the front, that's easier said than done in this class, isn't it? I mean, working with the teams around you, you've got multiple different teams here. You've got Crop Promotions, your own Strawberry Racing team, Litchfield Motorsport, Dan Holland Racing, Litchfield Privateer Drivers, Fusion Motorsport. Everyone's got a different team, but you can have to work together with these drivers at some point to try and break away, aren't you?
Yeah, it's quite difficult to say at the moment, but you just have to see what happens.
Well, good luck, best of luck, Joseph. We'll see you very soon. Now, starting in third place, Harvey Charter for the Litchfield Motorsport team. He has been a surprise in qualifying. He's been very, very strong in the races. Without being cruel, I think a surprise package maybe. I mean, obviously you came into this weekend feeling very, very confident, but how are you feeling now just before the start of the biggest race of the season for you?
Yeah, it's been a really good weekend so far. Had the pace to do well, so hopefully I can bring it home.
Hopefully bring it home. I mean, is there a driver out there that you think, I mean, if you could handpick one driver you think, I'm going to have to beat this person on the last lap for the win, who do you think it's going to be?
I'll probably say Caden McQueen.
Okay, Caden McQueen, the pole sitter. He's going to be the one that Harvey Charter thinks he has to beat. Moving down to the third row of the grid, the first of our Fusion Motorsport drivers, starting on sixth position. We'll go to Alessandro Serenetti starting in sixth, and then we'll have a word with our leading privateer. But Alessandro Serenetti from just south of Milan in Banbury. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good for now. Looking forward to the race. Should be a good one. Long race, so a lot of strategy decisions to be made. But yeah, we'll see who will come out on top. Should be a good one.
I mean, now qualifying on Friday didn't go very well for you. You've had to really play catch-up the whole day. I mean, one mistake can really cost you, can't it?
Yeah. As you saw on Friday. But we managed to make it all up on Friday, and we were like 15th after the heat, so it went all right. But then after yesterday, it really boosted me up on the pre-final grid. So yeah, I think where we are now, it's a really good position to be in.
Okay, well, good luck, Alessandro. That's 5 of the top 6. We didn't quite get time because we're going to be going racing very shortly, but alongside Alessandro Serenetti, the PF plate holder, Blake Anglis as well. Fantastic effort from Blake to get that PF plate car, the commentary-based driver, up onto the top 3 rows of the grid. Are we going to see a privateer driver get a win here at Kartmasters 2019? Back to you, Alex Goldschmidt.
Thank you very much, Henry. So, it is the 7th and final Grand Prix of the 2019 Motorsport UK Kartmasters British Kart Grand Prix, being held here at PF International, the home of British karting, the home of Trent Valley Kart Club. And I tell you what, the sunshine has been on our side all afternoon, and it has provided us with 6 fantastic races. And now we go into battle for one final time. Closing the action here in Lincolnshire is Junior X30. The starting grid is as follows. Caden McQueen from Croc Promotion and Joseph Taylor from Strawberry Racing alongside each other on the front row. Then it's Harvey Charter and Oliver Gray on row number 2. Then Blake Anglis, the PF champion, who I understand is from the UK. From England, has got Alessandro Ceronetti in Banbury, just south of Milan, as Henry said on the grid earlier on.
From the Rob Dodge School of Karting.
Georgie Dimitrov and Sam Shaw with Reggie Dewey and Tom Edgar rounding out the top 10. That's looking very interesting indeed. Tyler Reid and Sam Heading round out row 6 ahead of Daryl Taylor and Ivan Lomliev. Tom Leben and Douglas Bolger are ahead of Rashan Chigarimbo and Joshua Torpy. Then rounding out the top 20, it's Will Murdoch and Lewis Allingham. Daniel Ginchard could be an outside bet, getting probably into at least the top 15. The Persistence Motorsport driver starts on the inside of row 11 alongside the 224 of privateer Robbie Stapleford, with Dylan Hotchin, Daniel Amazigo, Alfie Brooks, Oscar Joyce, Harvey Ribby, Joshua McLean, Aaron Walker, Alicia Barrett, Jude Ferniho, Daniel Butterworth, Alex Lade, JP Sleater, and also Oliver Bierman and Jamie Day. Red lights on the starting gantry for one final time here at Kartmasters at PF International. They go into the tram lines. 15 minutes, do they click away now? Yes, we go racing one final time as they scream their way through into the Bruno Ferrari S's for the very first time under the Litchfield Bridge. All very clean through there at the moment, 2x2, or maybe even nigh on 4 wide at one point, just outside of the top 15, but everyone's safely making it through thus far as we head to the first infield hairpin, as it looks like Taylor has got the initial advantage ahead of McQueen going into the first infield hairpin. It's 2-3 abreast, a little bit further down the order. Some drivers making up positional changes, but this is going to be fast and furious for the next 14 minutes and 23 seconds plus an additional lap.
Well, Joseph Taylor set off like a cat with a rocket up its bottom, and he takes the lead away. At the back of the pack, we were going to say Oliver Behrman and Jamie Day, the two KR Sport teammates that clashed in the last lap of the pre-final. They're going to have to do a top gear from the rear, but I did see one of them having a little bit of a problem at the second hairpin. Yellow flags waving down at the Bobby Game corner, but it's Taylor who leads from McQueen and Gray in third. Charter is fifth behind Serenetti, I think that is, in the number 6 car. 3 wide already on the banking. Round the outside goes McQueen. There's his trademark move. And up over the back, Charter. Oh dear, Charter and Serenetti. There's 2 more contenders in the dirt, as it were. They both continue, but they are at the moment out of contention.
Oh, McQueen's at it again. He's trying to go round the outside of Taylor, but as a result of that, looks like Oliver Gray capitalised and put his way past. And so McQueen third, and Nigel Edwards definitely giving some direction there to the field just to be on the safe side of.
Well, they're saying there's the racing line. Why are you defending? And you know, it'd be more first laps or more white lines than the backstage at Glastonbury going on.
That's when it's not a muddy field, of course.
Yes, of course. But
Dan Ginchard, that bumper is askew. He will have to pull that into the pits. That's a real shame from the youngster on the 54, based out of Watford.
Mechanical flag for Ginchard, sadly. But I mean, yeah, there's Taylor, Gray, McQueen, and then Tom Edgar, the Northern Irishman from Newtonards, is in third, fourth place as McQueen goes for Gray, and very, very fraught. Who's that up into 5th position? It's Reggie Dewey, Mr. Excitement, up into 5th place. Great start for the Mark Baines Motorsport driver. Sam Shaw up into 6th. Blake Anglis, the privateer there in the PF plate, in 7th. Dimitrov 8th. Chigarimbo up to 9th. Heading is 10th, the second privateer in the top 10. Then it's Lomliev, Taylor, Reid. Looking back there, Ginchard is out. Who else have we had a problem for? Serenetti down in 28th.
It looks like it might have been JP Sleater and Daniel Amazigo that came together. It looks like, because they're down in 34th and 35th position respectively. So that could have been why the yellow flags were being waved heading into Bobby Game corner. But the race is clearly on. McQueen has some work to do in the 42, and a little bit further behind. Well, that is the shot of Oliver Gray from the UK with Dan Holland Racing.
Harvey Charter is 21st, just in front of Oliver Behrman. So Behrman has gone from 35th to 22nd at the moment in the first 4 minutes of the race. Things are beginning to ramp up again at the front of the field. Georgie Dimitrov sets the fast lap in the number 23 kart. This class has been won by Josh Smith, Tom Wood, Callum Bradshaw, Harry Thompson, and last year by Clayton Ravenscroft. Dimitrov, Jamie Day, Josh McLean, and Oliver Behrman have all won a GP plate before. But of those 4 drivers, it's only really Dimitrov that's in with a shout at the moment. There's the PF plate of Blake Anglis.
Baracus.
B.A. Blake Anglis Baracus himself. Again, doing a fantastic job. That pristine-looking car. When I say pristine, that means it hasn't got any tyre scuffs on it, which means that he's kept his nose clean for the first 2.5 days. Taylor, again, not a scratch on that kart. He leads. Gray second. McQueen third. Edgar slipping back in fourth place. And Sam Shaw, great drive from number 16, the premium karting entry so far of Sam Shaw from Fareham. And the change for the lead, Alex, as Gray makes the move.
Oh, that's a nice move past Joseph Taylor, who goes ultra defensive straight away on Caden McQueen. I do have to give a shout out to Alicia Barrett. I had a quick chat with her earlier on as she was coming through Park for May, and she said, it doesn't matter, I'm feeling a little bit stiff once the adrenaline kicks in, and she has made up 8 places up to 22nd thus far. Oliver Bierman now is in 20th and climbing. He is on the move. 10 minutes and 17 to go, plus an additional lap. Oh, bit of fisticuffs there with the 33 there. Looks like that might be, yeah, that is Alicia Barrett. She's battling with the likes of Dylan Hotchin, Oliver Bierman, and also Jamie Day in the number 24.
And, well, as long as there are no gaps between the leaders, Bierman, you show Bierman a kart in front of him, and Bierman will show you how to pass a kart. But he's got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Eastbound, we'll watch old Behrman run. Up the front.
Behrman 1-9, Behrman 1-9.
Gray takes the lead. Taylor in second. Then it's a drive of the race so far from Sam Shaw in kart number 16. McQueen runs in third. Reggie Dewey, Mr. Excitement, in 5th place. Followed by Tom Edgar. There's the move for the race lead. This is great. This is music to the ears of the drivers in about 11th place on back, because you've got Chigarimbo, Taylor, Reed, Lomliev, Heading, McLean, Bolger, Murdoch, Levin, Behrman now 18th, Charter in 19th. We wrote Harvey Charter off a few laps ago when he had that incident with Serenetti. But look at that coming through the Mike Wilson complex. There's no clean, free tarmac between these karts. No one's able to break away. Taylor has the lead as we start lap number 7.
And with the top 33 separated by just 9.9 seconds from nose cone to rear bumper, this is going to be one of those races where everyone has a chance. This is the closest fought race as Taylor's gone ultra defensive on Gray. As nice work by McLean, trying to go around the outside, heading towards the second infield hairpin on Gray. Can't make the switch back through the second one. This is bringing Shaw and Mr. Excitement Reggie Dewey, who is actually on the back bumper, heading into the short blast into the Fullerton S's. As that was definitely a Knight Rider moment from Reggie Dewey going through the first part on the apex.
Standard, and there's a move from McQueen up the inside. He forces Gray a bit wide, and that's going to give McQueen second place. It's going to give Shaw third place. It's going to give Dewey fourth place, but it is going to give Joseph Taylor a handy advantage. And there's a problem there for the number 50. Dylan Hodgkin has decided to park in one of the barriers. That's a bit of an unfortunate turn of events for him, and he's out of the race. He becomes our second retirement. And Sam Shaw in kart number 16, pushing his way up towards the front here. I'm looking down. Shaw, well, he was 12th in the points. He hasn't finished higher than 6th in any race so far this weekend. 8th in the pre-final. And but consistent, as behind him there's a move. That is one of the fusion karts. I think that might have been Rashan Chigarimbo. Was that in the number 92? No, it's the number 23 of Dimitrov, diving up the inside of Anglis and Gray, who is now finding himself really under the cosh,
with
Daryl
Taylor right behind the PF plate as they go flying through the Fullerton S's.
Here's Daryl Taylor. We haven't mentioned Daryl Taylor much.
No.
The MLC motorsport
and
driver.
He's up from 13th to 10th position, so he's rounding out the top 10. Top 10 currently separated by a mere 2 seconds from front to back.
Well, it's like throw all the race numbers up in the air and pick a winner. This is. You've got more chance of winning the national lottery than predicting who's going to come out on top in this one, because Taylor has got McQueen and Shaw closing in. Sam Shaw, what a drive. 11th in last year's IAME Grand Prix. He's not in the top 20 of the British Championship in this class, but the top 3 are pulling away. Dimitrov, Dewey and Gray have now got to work together. They've got to get their heads down.
McQueen's trying to go around the outside, that cheeky little overtake that we've seen most of the weekend. But here comes Shaw. And is he going up the inside? No, he has to slot back just before the Fullerton S's.
So great spatial awareness there from the number 16 from Premium Karting. So it's Strawberry Racing from Croc Promotion, Premium Karting and Fusion Motorsport, with Mark Baines Motorsport rounding out the top 5. 5 different teams represented in the top 5 so far.
Actually 6 different teams. The top 6 is Oliver Gray, run 6 for the Dan Holland Racing team. Edgar Chigarimbo, 7th and 8th. Anglis 9th. Still putting the privateer PF plate in the top 10. Tyler Reid, Darrell Taylor.
Oh, it's going to happen. What's happening here? McQueen's trying to go round the outside on the banking. Taylor nips back in front, closes the door through turn 4. Down the hill they come towards the first infield hairpin. McQueen and Taylor both look over their right shoulders, their left shoulders, as here goes McQueen with a switchback. Oh, he's going to go for it. He's going to run Taylor a little bit wide. Oh, little clash of wheel to side pod. Taylor's got the inside run for the second hairpin. Here comes Shaw. He could have had McQueen right there and then as they head to the Fullerton S's, back into 30 slots. But Dimitrov, Mr. Excitement, Reggie Dewey. Well, we got 2 people that have been providing that, and that is McQueen, who takes a wider line going through Bobby Gain corner. Oh, and he makes the move through.
At the inside for a change goes Caden McQueen. And there's number 16, Carter Taylor. But McQueen now leads again.
Last third of the race, and we complete lap number 10. Oh, Taylor, what a move. Slingshotting back to return the favour past Caden McQueen as well. I have to say the 63 of Gray looking very brave around the outside of Dimitrov there, going up the banking. Can't get the move done, but Dimitrov now into 4th position behind Sam Shaw. Gray rounding out the top 5. Whoa, you sent it from absolutely nowhere. Georgi Dimitrov, and he goes side by side. Clashes a little bit there with Sam Shaw going into the second infield hairpin, but Gray is trying to do the same as what Dimitrov did to Shaw just then a minute ago, but it didn't work out.
And now let's look at the lead group, because they have grown exponentially, because we've now got Edgar, Dewey, Taylor and Tyler Reid for the M Sport team in car number 27 in this group. Side by side again for second. Sam Shaw takes P2. Taylor down to 3rd. 4th is Gray. McQueen still leads. Then it is Dimitrov in 5th now. 6th is... That is, oh, I didn't even know it was 6th. Is that the M Sport kart of Tyler Reid? No, it's Darrell Taylor for the MLC Motorsport team. Taylor's timing this perfectly. Sam Shaw has slipped. Well, he was slipped back there a little bit, but he's managed to hold on to 2nd place. Behind them, it's
side by side.
Lomliev is in there as well, so is Chigarimbo.
But look at it, Taylor and Gray side by side. Gray's got the inside run coming into the first hairpin, takes the position. Now Taylor's got to try and slingshot past him going into the second hairpin. As now, well, I tell you what, Shaw definitely looking to get past McQueen for the lead. He's right on the back bumper, heading into the Fullerton S's. The top 4 are going to be pretty much together. But look at how Edgar, Taylor and Dewey, they are not that far adrift. I mean, Edgar to Gray is about just under 3/10 of a second as they go through Bobby Gain corner into the last part of the Mike Wilson complex. But still, at the front of the field, it is still Caden McQueen. 180 seconds plus an additional lap remaining as they come across the start-finish line to start lap number 13. Oh, Shaw is going for it. He's pushed the, he's pulled the pin on the grenade and thrown it. Gray's going to try and go round the outside, takes the lead.
Wow.
McQueen does the same to Shaw, and up the inside comes Joseph Taylor. Oh, he has a little bit of a wriggle on there. The kart sort of stepped out a little bit sideways, coming up the banking.
McQueen did the crossover on the banking to take the lead. Can we just stop the clock and let him carry on till it gets dark?
Taylor's going to do at least 2 positions there. He's gone past Gray, he's gone past Shaw, back up into 2nd position. He's taken a leaf out of Caden McQueen's book right there and then, as Shaw and Gray are now side by side as they take the run down to the Fullerton S's. No, Gray slotted in behind the number 16.
And just look at that, there's no gaps in the entire field. 2 minutes to go. It's, I can't even, well, it can't take your eyes off a minute.
Right, okay.
McQueen, Taylor.
10.38 seconds separating 1st to 34th position.
10 seconds, that's unreal. McQueen, Taylor, Shaw. Shaw led for about 10 metres. They're fanning out as though they were coming out of the pits on a rolling lap as they cross the start-finish line. Just under 2 minutes to go. Look at Darrell Taylor now trying to go around the outside in 5th position. Gray is there in 6th.
Dewey's there as well. It's all kicking off in our last Grand Prix of the weekend.
You just want them to all get home cleanly.
Please.
That's what you want to do. Just bring them on home, boys.
Taylor gives McQueen a little bit of a taste of his own medicine, but McQueen was very, very wise. He said, Sorry, Sunshine, you can't pull that trick on me because I've done it before. As Oliver Gray trying to go around the outside of Shaw there as they go into the Fullerton S's. Oh, it's getting very, very tight, very interesting. It could get a bit nasty as we come into the last 70 seconds, plus an additional lap.
Yep, 1 minute to go. Somebody pass me my tablets because it's going to get even more intense now. McQueen in the number 42 Mad Croc kart leads Taylor in the 21 Strawberry Racing Tony kart across the line. 50 seconds to go. Gray third. Sam Shaw, my driver of the race so far, in fourth position.
Gray's going round the outside. Sorry to cut you across you there.
Right.
But the thing was, Gray was trying to go around the outside of Taylor and also try and slingshot past McQueen round the banking onto the Litchfield Bridge, but it couldn't make it stick. 30 seconds. I don't think this is going to be the penultimate lap now because we're now getting into crunch time. This is when people want it the most, and Gray is going aggressive and he's going around the outside. Oh, it's 3 wide coming out. Gray's made it. Oh, my goodness.
Gray takes the lead outside, 3 wide at the second hairpin. McQueen and Taylor now side by side. Shaw coming up on Taylor for third place. He ducks back into fourth. Then it is Taylor at Darryl Taylor in fifth. Dewey is seventh. Reed, Dimitrov,
the lead, it's all kicking off at the lead. I tell you what, Gray's not out of the woods quite yet. McQueen was really on the back bumper.
Well, you got all 4 carts going through the cut through, and Beerman's up into 10th.
Last lap, here we go. It's all on. I tell you what, both of us are going to be very, very well rested after this weekend and after this particular race. But it is Gray that leads. McQueen, Taylor, Shaw. That's the top 4 as they go over the Litchfield Bridge for the final time. Down the hill they come. The first infield hairpin. Dewey up into 6th behind Darryl Taylor.
There goes Taylor.
Oh, there goes McQueen up the inside of Taylor for second. It's side by side heading towards the infield hairpin. Shaw's looking menacing now, but Gray really has to keep his head in front and looking ahead as McQueen getting mugged a little bit by Sam Shaw, and he sends it up the inside of Shaw. Oh, he goes sideways! Sideways through the exit. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to come through to the final time, round into the Mike Wilson complex end. And I tell you what, he's hung on for dear life. He did a brilliant overtaking manoeuvre to seal the deal, because round the final corner to win the Junior X30 Kartmasters Grand Prix, it's Dan Holland Racing's Oliver Gray.
Oh, what a race. Somebody, take me to a darkened room. I need to lie down. You find me a better kart race than that. And, well, you won't. That was outstanding. Oliver Gray takes the win. Joseph Taylor finishes in second place. Sam Shaw takes third. And Oliver Beerman finishes fourth. From 36th on the grid. He's got no right to finish fourth. That is a mission from Oliver Beerman. Caden McQueen, it just didn't happen for him when it mattered most. He has given it his all. Everyone who's been watching the live stream around the world knows Caden McQueen's name right now. After that, Reggie Dewey comes home in 6th position. Darryl Taylor finishes in 7th. 8th for Tom Edgar. Tyler Reid. Harvey Charter, he crashed and finished 10th.
Ahead of Georgi Dimitrov with Rashan Chigarimbo. Jamie Day starting 36th and stone dead last to come back into 13th ahead of Blake Anglis. Ivan Lomliev rounding out the top 15, but my goodness, I mean, you know, the weather has been brilliant, but the on-track action has been more than just intense. I think both Henry and I needed the defibrillator on standby, especially in this last race, to conclude the action for Kartmasters.
Well, we're showing the replays now on the big screen, the paddock. You may as well just have 15 minutes and rerun the whole race. All of it was a highlight reel. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, at the end of the race, the top 29 finishers separated by 9.5 seconds.
Wow.
Behind the top 10, Dimitrov 11th, Chigarimbo 12th, Day 13th, Anglis 14th, Lomliev 15th, Bolger in 16th, Murdoch 17th, Heading in 18th, Ellingham 19th, Aaron Walker rounds out the top 20, Josh McLean 21st, and Robbie Stapleford, Alex Lee, Daniel Butterworth, Jude Fernehow, Daniel Amazigo, Harvey Reeby, Oscar Joyce, and JP Slater. On the last lap, Alicia Barrett, Tom Levin came together. Alessandro Serenetti crashed in the last corner, and Josh Torpey and Alfie Brooks also came to grief coming out of the final, or the first hairpin for the final time. Only Dylan Hotchkin and Dan Ginchard failed to finish. But looking back there, Alex Goldschmidt, at the highlights, I mean, the highlights will speak for themselves. I know that there is the parade lap, the Rayner Smith car's parade lap still to go, and then the podium presentation in approximately half an hour, but probably a little bit longer than that. Please, that will be live streamed. Please don't disappear off the live stream for that. Well, myself and Alex Goldschmidt will bring you the podium celebrations at the end of this event. But I've been doing this I've been commentating for a dozen years now. This is your first Kartmasters, Alex. They have saved one of the best races I've seen in a long time, if not ever, for last day. It's been a privilege to commentate on it and to make noise about the sport that we all love. Whilst we're watching the finals on the live streams, just a big thank you to the marshalling team here at Trent Valley Kart Club. As you're watching the live stream, we're going to go down onto the dummy grid to close out the show in the best way possible. Alex, be back with you very, very shortly. Please, in the live stream, watch the highlights of this race. This is kart racing at its very, very best. Every weekend, the first weekend of the month, come here to PF International to race and watch the club events. But there is karting that happens all over the world. Every single weekend, go and look and find your local kart track, because it is like this every time you get competitive drivers on a kart. There's nothing beats this. Let's go down to the grid, Alex, to close out the show.
Definitely the case, Henry.
So the 2019 Motorsport UK Kartmasters British Kart Grand Prix is over on track at least. Alex Goldschmidt, that has been 3 days, 46 races of the best karting you will see anywhere. The Junior X30 drivers on their lap of honour. It's a pity you couldn't get 36 of them on the back of that Bentley.
You're definitely right. I think you need a couple of trailers at the back end of it, but what a way to close out the show. Both you and I had our hearts in our mouths. We couldn't really see what was going to happen, and then Oliver Gray just comes and does a Caden McQueen and seals the deal, like literally a couple of laps from the end. It was one of those moments you just have to be here to see it. And I think there's a very, very famous line from a film saying, if you come down to BF International, you will be entertained. And that's what we got this afternoon, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, indeed, it was a superb racing. We saw our first ever Japanese GP plate winner in Kian Nakamura Berta. We saw Ben Barnacle take his 8th and his 9th titles. We saw a fantastic race in Junior X30, and we saw some great racing in the Rotax classes and the Mini X30 class as well. There was not a single race there that you could not describe as the best advertisement for the sport of karting anywhere in the UK. I mean, Alpha Live have brought some great pictures to it. I mean, the footage has been fantastic, but the racing is really, they've stolen the show.
They always do. Time in, time out. This is the home of British karting. Built in 1994, 25 years ago. And here we are in 2019 on the 25th anniversary.
And I have to say, out of all the events that I've commentated on, this has hands down been one of the best one-off events, if not the pinnacle of one-off events I've had the pleasure of commentating alongside yourself over the last couple of days. But it's just, it feels surreal that it's all over, because as quickly as it started, it's now all over and done with, and we've got to celebrate who's now on our podiums, you know, all 7 of them. That's 21 drivers in total, with some going to the international IAME finals in Le Mans, you know, 16th to the 19th of October. There's people that have still got championship titles to battle for, especially in the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships, you know, which you and I have been a part of this year. And to see the quality, the caliber, international talent from, you know, Mexico, Singapore, Sweden, Spain, you know, the UAE, I am speechless.
Well, I mean, it's not often that a commentator is rendered speechless, but the pair of us, really, that last race was something to behold indeed. But of course, the 255 drivers are the centrepiece of the event, but it takes another 50, 60, 70 people behind the scenes here at Trent Valley Kart Club to put this event on. From the marshals, the most important people of all in racing, don't forget, guys and girls, that without the marshals giving up their time, nobody can go racing. The medical staff who are always here, thankfully, they weren't really called upon this weekend, but of course motorsport, as safe as the karts, as safe as the equipment is, as safe as the tracks are, motorsport is inherently dangerous, and every single one of those drivers is grateful for the medical teams for being on site, as well as the office staff, as well as the timekeepers, as well as the camera crews, the photographers, the people that run the catering, the restaurant, the bar. It takes a mammoth effort to put this event on for your viewing pleasure. We hope you have enjoyed yourselves. Don't go away. The podium presentations are coming up, but Kartmasters 2019, on the track at least, is in the books.
Definitely. And now we've got to celebrate those that will be standing on high in just a few moments' time, Henry.
Don't go away. Stay with us on the Alpha Live YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Trent Valley Kart Club Facebook page. In approximately 30 to 35 minutes' time will be the podium presentations. But for now, on track, on behalf of Alex Goldschmidt and myself, this has been 2019 Kartmasters British Kart Grand Prix. Thank you for joining us.
Well, there we have it. My top 5 for Alpha Live, starting at the home of British karting and ending up doing the rounds, going full circle, if you will, back to the home of British karting for Alpha Live. A big thank you to you all for watching. So if you enjoyed this video as much as I have, please hit the like button underneath. And also, whilst you're at it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for Alpha Live for all future broadcasts. And hopefully you might hear my dulcet tones at some point when we go racing. Of course, with the COVID-19 pandemic still hitting us globally quite hard, I can only wish everyone the very best of health, to stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home, and stay strong. We will get through this, and I'm sure that we will see each other trackside before you even know it. For those wondering about my social media, you can head to @agoldschmidt77 on Twitter and @AlexGoldschmidt77 on Instagram. Thanks for watching.